Yes and yes. Yes, he's a fall guy, and he can't take responsibility for what the Prime Minister's decisions. He ultimately will advise, and yes, the Prime Minister will ultimately have to go. His position is untenable. It's not just about Mandelson. Massive scandal though it is. It's a huge, huge scandal. But the heart of that is, of course, is Keir Starmer's judgment. He made the decision to appoint Peter Mandelson, but also he made the ultimate decision on lots of other things. The U-turn after U-turn, I think there's 15 or 16 that we've counted. Winter fuel allowance, family farm tax, grooming gangs, digital ID. This government is inept, and ultimately the leader has to take responsibility for that. And when you've lost the confidence of the public, as I think he has, if you lost the confidence of your backbenchers and lost the confidence of your ministers, then there is no way back. And that's where the Prime Minister is. Well, we definitely made mistakes, and some of our leaders made some mistakes in office. That's right. And I mean, I think this is a much bigger scandal than the Chris Pincher scandal, to be honest. I think corruption at the heart of government is something much, much bigger, as well as clearly the connections to a notorious paedophile, who's somebody who would ruin the lives of many young people and their families. So I think this is much, much bigger than that. But the reality is, we were trying to cope with some big geopolitical events that were forced upon us in government. Of course, leaving the European Union, the COVID crisis, cost of living crisis, these are all geopolitical issues. The government is actually struggling at its own hand. All the problems it's faced, all those things I mentioned earlier, were self-inflicted decisions the government made, and there's having to reverse on. So people can see that Keir Starmer is weak. He's got no backbone. What the country needs is a strong leader with backbone. I believe that person is Kemi Badenoch. She's got a strong team. I'm delighted to be part of that team. And she's got a clear plan. That's what the country needs. And it cannot get that. It does not have that under Keir Starmer.
If that was really the case, then he wouldn't mind if the ISC had a look. And let's be clear, he says the Cabinet Secretary makes it non-political, but that doesn't make it independent. What we want is an independent look. The ISC is independent. The Cabinet Secretary works for him. We know that there will be a cover-up because this implicates the Prime Minister and his Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, a protege of Peter Mandelson. The Prime Minister chose to inject Mandelson's poison into the heart of his government on the advice of Morgan McSweeney. His catastrophic lack of judgment, telling us now that he did know, has harmed the special relationship. It has endangered national security. It's not the humble address, it's him. It's compromised our diplomacy, and it has embarrassed our nation. After all of this, does he have the same full confidence in Morgan McSweeney that he had in Peter Mandelson?
Prime Minister.
Morgan McSweeney is an essential part of my team. He helped me change the Labour Party and win an election. Of course I have confidence in him. But, Mr Speaker, whatever is slung across this dispatch box, I don't think it's right for the Cabinet Secretary to be denigrated in that way and to suggest that he would be involved in a cover-up. There's the politics that comes over the dispatch boxes, but I honestly don't think it's right to impugn the Cabinet Secretary in that way. And I suspect in their heart of hearts, many on those benches would agree. Mr Speaker, I'm as angry as anyone about what Mandelson has been up to. The disclosures that have been made this week of him passing sensitive information at the height of the response to the 2008 financial crash is utterly shocking and appalling. He's betrayed our country. He's lied repeatedly. He's responsible for a litany of deceit. But this moment demands not just anger, but action. And that's why we've moved quickly, referring material to the police, publishing legislation so we can remove titles from disgraced politicians, and stripping Mandelson of his Privy Councillorship. That is what the public expect, and that is what we will do.
I don't know that, so I can't tell you yes or no, but the offer is open. I'm sure that those thoughts are going through those backbenchers' minds right now, and ministers, whether to do it themselves or usually how these things happen is just a group of people, group of backbenchers, group of ministers go to the Prime Minister and say, your time's up. And I'm sure that thinking's going on right now. I think there may be a slight delay before this actually happens, in that lots of the main protagonists, the challengers, the pretenders to the crown, are possibly not ready right now. So they're trying to organise their affairs to get ready for a run at it. So I think it might be a few weeks. It might be after the local by-election in Gorton and Denton. It may be after local elections in May. But I think sooner or later that's going to happen. I mean, we don't hope to remove the Prime Minister. We want a Prime Minister that can govern properly, and this one can't. That's. I mean, we said right at the start we want this government to succeed, but it cannot succeed under Keir Starmer, and the public know that, the backbenchers know that, the ministers know that. That's the reality of all this. So we'll keep opposing constructively. Keir Starmer, Kemi Badenoch is very effective at that, as people can see. We'll carry on doing that, and ultimately it's a matter for the Labour Party how they conduct their own affairs. I just think it is inevitable that in the coming weeks the Prime Minister will have to resign. There'll be a new leader of the Labour Party and a new Prime Minister. There's only a point in doing that if you think the opposition members are going to support it. They've got a huge majority in the House. So I think it would need an understanding that the opposition members would support that. So we'll see what happens. It may require that. But ultimately, as I say, normally it's private conversations, meeting of the Parliamentary Labour Party saying, Prime Minister, your time's up. And I think that will happen in the coming weeks.